Hi, Genieve. I hope you're doing well. I am so sorry about your eye. I'm sending you all of the healing energy and positive light, and I can only imagine how painful that all was or is. So you may not be seeing this until you're completely recovered. The chart stayed a little bit weird. Usually this is on this side, but nonetheless, I do focus on the writing and then the chart separately anyway, so it won't get in the way of the reading. It may actually be really divinely guided, so you're not looking around as you are healing, and so spirit works in miraculous ways. All right, so I'm going to split up the reading half and half between human design and your birth chart. I got my notes here to talk about your birth or your human design and your birth chart. And so before we get started, I want to explain what is going on here. So as you can see, it's like the human anatomy, and at the top we have the crown, and we have the 7 chakras that we're taught. So if you're familiar with the chakra system, in human design we have 9 centers. So it's the typical like 7 chakras, and then we have 2 more centers, and so they don't call them chakras in human design. The crown here, the Anya, which is the third eye, throat, G center, so that's unique to human design. That's where we have our identity and our like ego, and then ego is also in the heart. When we have a heart, we have the solar plexus, sacral, spleen, and then the root. And yeah, and so if something is colored in, so let's say it's black, like the channels here. A black channel means that's an activated part of your design, so something that's been in your subconscious. If it's colored in brown in one of these lines, that means it's an activated part of your personality, something that's conscious. Thing is, as we go through life, we have a more of like a heightened sense of our design and our conditioning. And so for you, I feel like that came online a little bit, I would say later in life, but as a 6-2 profile, which I'll come to, it makes sense that you're going through a lot more transitions in like the latter half, or like second half of your life, not latter half, the second half of your life. The gates that are colored in are where you're activated to succeed. So those are like your passions, your success, etc. And I'll go through the arrows as well, but I'm going to come down here and show you this part. So you are a generator. I am also a generator. No wonder we jive well. As a generator, you are meant to be a life force of energy. And what that means is you are meant to be here to uplift people, to be a beacon of light. It's like the moth to a flame. I mean, you're not supposed to kill them. But in your 6-2 profile, right here is the exemplary human. So it's like the super mom. You got it all vibe. You know what to do. People are meant to learn through you. You have a transpersonal profile. So people learn their karma through you and through experience. And so it makes sense that you maybe have lost some friends and family while you are fulfilling your purpose and figuring out more of that. So sometimes it's hard to reconcile that. You do have a split definition, which means it can be hard to not listen to the voices in your head. You have a open crown and an open root, which means that you are more susceptible to getting ungrounded when people in your vibe are not resonating with you and have you question your identity. So it's really important to continue to listen to your intuition. As a 6-2 profile, you're a role model, but you also like to hermit and have space. So always listen to that gut instinct when you want to take that time to be more recluse. That's also really important for generators, because you're not meant to be in the projection field, or like, let's say, on social media or out there in the public all the time, because that's when you get burnt out. Because as a generator, you're not meant to say yes to everything. You're meant to respond to the activities that you want to, or the invitations that you want to respond to, because a strategy as a generator is to respond. So that's like to respond to whatever is put in front of you, so you can manifest and you can think about things and what you would like to have. And the best way to be in alignment when possible, of course, as 3D humans, we have to initiate as well. But it's finding the balance of responding to what really feels good for you. And we're conditioned to believe that we should be acting all the time and initiating all the time. But, it's important not to do that. And as a generator, imagine if a generator was to continue to go, like an actual generator that like runs on fuel. It's going to burn out, and then you got to fuel it up and you got to let it start again. So just think of your body as something like that. So it's important as a 6-2 profile, as a generator, to respond to what feels worthwhile for you when it feels right, and to respond to the right things. so that you can continue to embody your role model attributes. So as a generator, people are meant to learn from you. You're meant to be that sense of enlightenment. And when you are in alignment, you're going to be met with so much positivity. And it's, continuing to allow your bubble to become stronger and stronger. What that means, I call it like a penetration bubble, but not letting osmosis play a part in what people tell you about yourself. So you're working through a lot of that right now, and that started for you more around the age of 40 leading to 50, and so you're going to have a lot of shifts, and you're going to be feeling a lot more vibrant and sexy and powerful in the second half of your life. And it's not like you're not already, but you are going through a major transformation at this particular moment, and you are allowing your inner child to shine in ways that she hasn't before. The incarnation cross, the left angle cross of refinement, it's you like to have the energy, you like to curate your space, you like feng shui. So I can imagine, I haven't been to your clinic yet, but I really want to soon. I will, and I hope that it's very soon, because I need a little bit of alignment. Never had a chiro session, don't kill me. And I really do need it. I really do need it. So I will do that in hopefully the next couple of weeks. But you like to have nice things. You like to also have privacy, and you believe that everyone else should have that. So that's really important. Continuing to remember that within your own household. I believe that I sense that you do give that. I don't know if you have more than one child, if you have a daughter, or if you have another kid, but I sense that that's important to have that space and privacy, and that's just something that you enjoy yourself, and so you like to put that belief onto others because they should also have that. So anything else there? When you're not in your self-esteem, you'll be frustrated. When you are, you're going to feel satisfied. Digestion, peace and quiet, so that makes sense. You like to have that privacy. It's very much a part of your life, and it's important to have that Zen mode. Okay, so the arrows, the top left arrow in brown going to the right means that you have a passive digestion. Bottom left means you have a structured environment. And so sometimes I'm sensing you can get a little bit off balance because you do have the undefined root chakra or root center, off balance when you are in the flow of life, but you know that you need to be doing things differently. So there's a little bit of contradictory energy, and just remembering that everybody has something unique in their human design. There's no right versus wrong, good versus bad, right? It's just about what we know about ourselves. We are all beautifully born at the right time with the right design. This is what your soul chose for you, and how they chose for you to learn about yourself as you continue to become wiser. So having a passive digestion means you like to learn as you go, right? So it could have even been, let's say, during board meetings with the academy or things like that. It's I don't really know how I'm feeling about it, and it was unaligned for you because you liked to have that level of certainty, but then you learned as you went on that, okay, I need to cut this off, and I need to stay more in my purpose than continuing in the direction that I'm in. And that's because you like that structured environment, you like a level of certainty, and that's okay. Your awareness level, the top right arrow in the black going to the left, you like logic and you like strategy, so you like to have a plan. Bottom right arrow in the black going to the right is non-specific manifestation. So you like to have a plan, but you are meant to manifest non-specifically. And what that means is you're meant to set the intentions. You're meant to continue to go towards and with what feels good, but you may not know all of the details. And sometimes that can get into your vibration and into your subconscious because you believe that you should know everything and have it all figured out. If I don't do this or I don't have that, that means I'm not going to be productive. Not true, not true. So your awareness likes to go right back to strategy. Let me just see, what's your moon sign? Your moon sign is Aries. Yeah, so your ego gets in the way. I wasn't sure if you're an Aquarius. Your ego gets in the way. Okay, yeah, you don't have Aquarius in your... Oh my God, you're triple fire. You're triple fire. I wouldn't have thought. You are very grounded for being triple fire. It makes sense with the ballet as well as with the work that you do. You're very grounded. Wow, that's interesting. That is very interesting. So I like that. I like that because that shows how how in balance you are. But just remembering, when you want to manifest, when you want to create something, you may not be able to know all of the details. You're going to better be able to know how you'll feel in that final manifestation, kind of like the environment you'll want to be in, what it'll look like, what it'll smell like, what it'll like generally be like. And your strongest sense is touch. So it's like, what will it feel like? What would you want there? What's really luxurious in the space? And so I don't know if you have space in your current home for just yourself, even if it's a little nook. It would be a good idea to create that, and I'm sure you have that in your office already, so maybe doing some more cleansing and clearing and reorganization will help you feel more in flow as you continue to shift. You're just going through a really big transformation right now, and I love that for you. So I'm going to get into the gates and channels. The gates are the numbers, the channels are the lines that are connecting, either in white, black, or brown. And if you're undefined and if it's clear, like if it's white, just like transparent, it means that you are susceptible to conditioning there, and those are the places that you should not be focusing on. And yeah, so for you, it's like really focusing on your gut instinct, your sacral authority, and having that as, yeah, your sacral authority. I just wanted to see, yeah. So having that as your pivotal guidance system. And your spleen is really lit up, which means you have a lot of strong instincts. You also know when you're in danger. And so, I mean, again, it can be hard because you can get in your head when you have those maternal instincts come online, but it's important to listen to those and be confident in that, because your head can get in the way. Your head can get in the way. What people tell you should believe can get in the way. So focus on living instinctually and within your intuition. That's going to help your inner child. Your inner child is pretty healed. She has a good sense of identity, but sometimes you can get things can come into your heart space and in your mind based on the beliefs of others. So I won't point to the numbers when I'm talking to them because I have my notes written down in front of me, and I don't want to, I don't like to lose my channeling, but I will state what the numbers are. So for example, I'm going to start with 48 to 16. And we're going to go from there. So the definition of 48 to 16, you have deep wisdom. You are a master of your environment, and you do what you like to do with enthusiasm and courage, and that gives other individuals the space to do that and to feel lit up by that. So when you're honest and you're vulnerable, it gives others the encouragement, again, like I said, to do the same thing. And yeah, so it's like your wisdom goes a lot further, and you're able to empower those around you in even like your age circle to take a stand for what they really believe in. So remember to continue to do that. Gate 26 to 44, you like to live in integrity and truth, and that's really healing for you. There have been past lives, and a lot of chiropractors are like this. They've had past lives where they were persecuted for their healing gifts, and I had posted on my story once that chiropractors are some of the most profound healers on this planet, and they're helpful. Your work is helpful in clearing and creating positive energy in the world and within the individuals and patients you work with or clients, because of how you're able to shift them when you like literally crack them open. And so you have a sense of integrity in the work that you do, and you're able to heal others through that, and you're also healing your past life karma when you let's say like continue to be in the flow of it, continue to be in the flow of your career. Gate 15 to 5, you have a love for humanity. You like embracing the differences in rhythm of life, as well as empathizing with others, and you have you like seeing like the pattern and flow of things. And I love gate 15 to 5. I gotta look at my chart to see if I have that. Actually, I have my chart here because I was like really picking up no, I don't, and that's interesting because like I was really picking up the ballerina vibes from 15 to 5 because of the rhythm and the patterns and stuff and being in alignment. And so everything that you have done in the dance sphere has helped you maintain balance, has helped you maintain a flow, and has helped you like just continue to heal yourself. And so that was difficult, right? When you had to make that sort of decision, it was difficult because it just was something that you really liked. But what ended up happening was you wanted more structure and certainty that your beliefs aligned with theirs. And that's okay. I know it's hard. That's okay. We are all loved by spirit. So the places your conditioning is getting in the way, which is what I want to focus more on here, is looking at the big picture of possibility and maintaining a positive outlook on life and mindset. So that's like not living in fear. So your conditioning, because of your open crown and you feeling ungrounded, maybe at times with the world energy, that is what is kind of getting in the way. And I feel like you continuing to detach and being okay with detaching is going to be important for you moving forward. And you already have been. You're just in this new space that you haven't had before, and you're just learning all these new aspects about yourself. Gate 22, you have a lot of beauty, but sometimes you have like you don't know how beautiful you are, and having that level of self-acceptance. I feel that you have maybe identified with things growing up, and it could be the ballet stuff, like you've identified with certain aspects. And when I quit dance, it was really, really difficult for me. It looks like you had defined yourself as a certain individual, and not having that to hold on to can be difficult, and they want you to be cautious and conscious of that because it's getting into your heart space as well as your value of self. Gate 36, you sometimes like to have clarity before you take on new experiences, and that's very much the alpha mindset and liking structure. But spirit wants you to remember that there, with spontaneity and a lack of clarity, there's often beauty. Gate 41 is about imagination. That's initiating. It's about having, being able to daydream. And so sometimes you don't allow your mind to run wild with dreaming and thinking, because like, well, how am I going to achieve that? But that's spirit's job, not yours. You just get to know what you want to create and why you want to create it. You don't need to know how it's going to come together. And so they want you to be really positive and remembering your ability to manifest. And 28 to 38, that's the not wanting to take new experiences without having the clarity of why. But that's that's tying into taking risks. It's like, oh, should I take this risk or should I not? And what if there's no point in me taking the risk? And spirit saying everything is aligned. Even if you take a risk or you take a leap of faith, it means that it's supposed to teach you something. Okay, so other things that are getting in the way. 19 to 49, you crave intimacy, but sometimes you fear having it. So it's important to open up and be really vulnerable, especially in your household. I feel like there's an extra level of vulnerability you can have, and you may feel that you need to be poised all the time, but that they want you to say that you can move forward and you can honor that divine feminine energy that wants to be heard. Gate 57 to 20, your intuition is really strong, but you think that at times people will run away from you rather than gravitating towards you. And so when that happens, it means you're filtering out those that are not in your vibration or in alignment with you, and you're aligning with those that are. So remembering that when you maybe get in an altercation with friends or family as you had before. 51 to 25, it's like, how do I explain this? You don't want your structure to be shaken up. And there's a deep level of surrendering that's required because you want things to continue the way they are, which is gate 32 to 54. You want things to continue the way that they are. You want to have that stability. You want to have that level of knowing and comfort with that knowing, and you want to feel that unity within yourself. But there's a deeper level of surrender, which is going to allow you to get to a spiritual path that you didn't assume that you knew, and that's going to be a part of how you empower other people around you. And lastly, 23 to 43, there's the fear of transforming and allowing your mind to kind of go on the wayside as you follow your intuition. So right now, this is a lot of change that's occurring, and they want you to completely surrender to that, okay? So I'm going to move on to your birth chart. Your purpose in life is to completely surrender to the path unknown. I know it's hard, but it really is your next chapter. So your birth chart, this is your birth chart. I'm going to send this to you, and obviously you would have seen that by the time you hear this video. There are aspects at the bottom of the chart that I will probably go through at the end. It's like to look at the couple of aspects that really stand out down here, but it gives you a little deeper knowledge of your chart. Okay, birth chart, first time looking at this. So northern hemisphere of your chart is objective, so like more related to like what you've gone through publicly in life. Southern hemisphere is your subjectivity, so things that you've like gone through alone. Right side is fate, left side is freedom. So it's like what's fated for you in life, what do you have more freedom over. I'm going to go through the houses 1 to 12 to give you a little bit of an explanation of what they are. And I believe that whoever comes to me at whatever time for their birth chart reading is like we're meant to see the alignments of the planet at that exact time. So for example, right now we are in Pisces, and you don't really have much going on in Pisces. You are hermiting and doing a lot more, and you're about to like ramp up again in the next couple of months in terms of your purpose. But you know, so even though this is the time that you were born, I like to look at it as where we are today, and how you can use this energy. And this energy is fluid, and there will already be things that you have gone through in life that play into this energy. So I'm going to explain to you what houses 1 to 12 are. First house is your house of self, which is goals, body, and appearance. Second house is values, which is money and income. Third house is sharing, which is siblings, school, communication, short trips, and commutes. Fourth is home and family, which is lineage, private life, past life, and your father wounding. Fifth is pleasure, which is children, creativity, romance, sex, and fortune. Sixth is about health, which is wellness, routine, work, pets, effort, and necessity. Seventh house is balance and relationships, which is one-on-one partnerships, marriage, and yeah, like love life, right? Your husband. Eighth is about transformation, which is debt, couples, income, taxes, and inheritance. Ninth is about purpose, which is travel, study, religion, faith, international travel, and concern. 10th house is about enterprise, which is career, fame, reputation, and profession. 11th house is blessings, which is hope, wishes, friends, luck, and spirit. 12th is sacrifice, escape, retreat, and unconscious. So you are meant to really know more based on where your placements are in your houses, okay? So we're going to look at that. I want to see what I'm drawn to first. Okay, so wait, you have your sun, moon, and rising before we get started. So your sun, moon is your ego, or your sun is your ego, which is Leo. And ego is like how you identify with yourself. You have a strong sense of identity, which was coming through in your human design. You also have that defined G center. Your moon in Aries is how you identify with your emotions, which is really not at all, because you can self-sabotage. Aries is also the very powerful masculine energy. So once you really get a rein on all of that, you're able to really express it profoundly. So I sense that you are doing that, and you have been doing that. So the moon is your emotional internal world. And I feel like that would have been really expanded the last couple of months when we had the full moon in Cancer in January. Your ascendant rising is also in Leo, and so that is how the world views you. So how you view yourself is also how the world really views you. So you have a lot of transparency in who you are, and people really know you for who you are. There's not a lot of subconscious stuff that, it's like your life is on a highlight reel. And I love that for you. Your life is on a highlight reel, and I can see that even on your Instagram. You're very honest and transparent, and so people know you for you. You also just like, you're going to have a lot more transformation when you're able to look at to like really address your emotions from a place of detachment, which is really, really difficult on a path of ascension. And so let's look a little bit at those emotions, which are in your 9th house there, your moon in Aries. And so the south node is there, which is this little your south node is there. And that is like the fear of moving forward, the uncomfortability with moving forward, and it comes in your 9th house of purpose. And so it's like, what has my purpose been, and what I've gone through? Sure, it's faded, right? It's faded. I'm meant to go through these things, but like, why is life so hard, right? Why is life so hard, and why can't I just like have all the opportunities that I want? It's a little bit of limited faith in that. And so they want you to really take time to travel more. You have been doing that. And so they're just reminding you to like take a little bit more time to travel, even if that's alone, but to do more, to have a sense of passion and to see how you feel when you do that. It's like you're going to be so much more in alignment, and there's nothing like wrong with, let's say, like holding your emotions in a little bit more. But what's going to really help you with your third house in Libra, the Pluto, and you have the North Node, which is kind of like, looks like the octopus. That's about moving out of your comfort zone and feeling good. And the Pluto there, which is the blue planet in Libra, is, you feel like Pluto is a sign of transformation. It's a planet of transformation. And so once we're able to really transform and look at our emotions from like a balanced place, it's like not neglecting our inner child and our inner self and our feminine energy, because our distorted feminine inner energy, we have inner masculine and feminine energy. So the distorted feminine energy within us, that's not the divine part of us, we always strive to be in that divine energy. She can feel really needy for having emotions, right? And so it's getting out of the mindset that having emotions are weak and expressing them as weak or codependent or needy. That's what's going to really continue to help you when you're able to share that, with your family, able to share that with your friends that you relate to as family. So Spirit really wants to remind you to use your ability to manifest your desires, right? Like, and what can get in the way of manifesting our desires is not opening up our emotions, because that means we're out of alignment with our truest self. And so if you feel a lot of roadblocks, that's because Spirit wants you to crack your heart chakra wide open. So doing some heart chakra meditations may help, going for a massage, taking time for yourself, and just allowing yourself to feel. And that's really important to do that on your own. Okay, and there's a bullheaded energy when it comes to not wanting to address the emotions. That's your 10th house in Taurus there. And you have the K, which is representing Chiron. Chiron is where our wounding is. And, you know, the bullheaded energy of Taurus is the stubborn energy. It's like, I can't do anything until I have a plan of how I'm going to react once I do it. And Spirit's like, you just need to go ahead and open up that side of yourself, because it's a part of it's a part of you. It's a part of what you're meant to do in committing to this work and committing to this reputation you want to build for being honest and authentic. And there's that extra level that is coming up for you to really address right now. And in the next couple of months, you're going to be really, as your like 3D energy catches up to your 5D, the intentions that you set through all the activism and advocacy, you're really going to be seeing, like, you know, there's another layer to this that I really want to speak about, especially as life goes back to whatever is normal. There's going to be a lot of positive purpose behind your like motivations, and I'm excited for you to really explore that side of yourself. So next, let's look at Gemini. So your 11th house is split between Gemini and Cancer. Your 11th house is one of blessings, and so you're going to be seeing a lot more blessings coming this summer when you're able to expand. You have Jupiter here. When you're able to expand your emotional side, right? We're talking about that, your feminine side. That's Venus right there in the green. And so she really wants you to expand and to really look at your feminine energy. That's coming through very, very strong, because your masculine energy, your divine masculine, drinking some water, sorry. Your divine masculine energy internally, you taking those aligned action steps towards what you want, you being the powerful leader. It's very much there. That's also the Aries moon. It's very much there. You're very stable. You're grounding. But Spirit's like, what if you just let it out? What if you just let it loose for a little bit? You also have the Mars there. So you are in balance more when you have a sense of security in your emotions. And right now it's just overcompensated with wanting to be the perfect partner, the perfect mom, the perfect person and advocate. And that's also because you grew up that way, being very poised and perfect. You know, we got the slick back bun, we got the tights, we got the perfect point, we got, you know, like, and it's like, what if you just like fell? What if your pirouette just wasn't perfect? Right? It's like beating yourself up over that. And yeah, I did that a lot too. I did that a lot. So it makes sense of why I'm not defined in that area when I checked, because I was like, I had a lot of doubts when it came to my ability in dancing and performing. But like, you really allowed that to be your purpose and your identity, which makes sense. But there's also more to life that's coming that they want you to look at. So it's fated for you to kind of see more of what this direction is. And as, you know, your child or children get older, it's like Spirit wants you to have that strong sense of purpose and identity outside of being a mom. Because you are really like, and a lot of us do this, You are a great mom, a great wife, a great like homemaker, a great chiropractor. And Spirit wants you to give yourself that self-love. That's very, very important right now. It's very important. And okay, right, yeah, you have your first house there, and Saturn is where that H is. So your second Saturn return is coming up. It's already started. We end our first one around the age 30, and then we go through another one around the age 50. And so that is where we have the chance to do things different from the ways we've done it before. And you're going to start to see that more in the summer because your sun's in Leo as well. And so your purpose, your self, you can't escape anymore from doing this next level, let's say. And it's not a bad thing. You're going to feel good about it. You're going to reconcile it pretty fast, as in like you're not resisting the flow of change. There is just a lot of change to come, and it's not a bad change. It's about you shining in a whole new light, because there are times where your aura reads as not confident in self, and Spirit wants you to feel really, really confident in who you are and to continue to build that up. And part of that is being okay with your body changing. So they want you to feel really sexy even though your body's changing. And of course, addressing the emotions that come along with that, but not identifying with those changes and with menopause and with, just seeing something sagging or a wrinkle. They're like, it doesn't change who you are, Genieve. It makes you so much more beautiful to be accepting in it. Not so much more beautiful. You are really beautiful, but they want you to find the beauty. Sorry, let me correct myself. They want you to find the beauty in being accepting of it. And that's a journey, and that's a process. And a lot of how that's coming up is how you communicate with yourself. So you have your Mercury in Virgo here, second house of value. And so it's like, as I near retirement, let's say, I'm getting closer to retirement every single day, every single year, no one's going to want to listen to me, or no one's going to, there's a subconscious fear that people don't, what's the word? I'm feeling the word stability. People rely on you in a good way. People rely on you in a good way. And there is a sense of doubt about people seeing your worth, people seeing your value. And that's getting in your head a bit. And so you can kind of overcompensate by giving too much to people. And so they want you to rein in how much you are giving to people as you continue this transformation of self. And so, like I was saying before, your inner feminine energy is going through that transformation of how you communicate with yourself and you sharing how you feel. And a part of that could be you overcompensating. Now that you know that you've overcompensated in specific areas, where has it been? Where are you giving so much energy? And the Mercury there, which is a green in the second house planet, Mercury is all about communication. And so when Mercury retrograde hits, overall, you may find yourself having a lot of interactions that you don't really like, and continuing to go through all these experiences that you just all these experiences which you relive them, right? That's what happens with the karma of Mercury retrograde. We relive experiences that we get to redo. And what that does is that cuts and solidifies and ties a tiny, nice bow around karmic relationships and patterns and situations that we want to put an end to or redo. So Spirit's reminding you that when these situations come up, it doesn't mean you're failing. It means you get a chance to kind of end the conversation the way you want to, or repeat. You don't have to repeat a pattern. If you do, that's a lesson. But they're giving you the gift of cutting off what isn't serving you at this particular time. You have Uranus and Scorpio in your fourth house. So your home and family life, it's good. It's good. It puts you in it gives you a little bit of spice in your life. But there at times can be a little bit of change. I sense some change coming in. I mean, as when people, when kids get older overall, they change. And so there is going to be a little bit of that, and that's going to shake your structure up. Maybe your daughter says she doesn't want to do something, or she changes her mind on something, and spirit's like, oh, you're used to the structure, and then you're going to spiral and think that it has to do with you, and it doesn't. It has to do with her expanding. It has to do with her moving forward, and they don't want you to think that it's because you did something wrong, and that's where your own inner child wounding will come up. And so it's not defining yourself based on the actions of others, including those in your household. Everybody has their own individual path, their own individual journey, and I'm just feeling ballet again. Your daughter may say something about that, and you may be like, oh, crap. So remembering that the intergenerational stuff is live and well, and you probably see you and her a lot, but to just to ensure that you are, like, what you can help yourself with is seeing that your reputation and your profession and what you have achieved in life will not be ruined by the decisions that those around you make. It's a very subconscious thing. This is something that's coming up from past life clearing for you, where there was an indifference between your family or your children in a past life, and it could have been roles reversed, where it was with a parent of yours and you were the child, and I don't sense you're going to do anything, but they don't want you to beat yourself up over certain decisions or changes, knowing that is playing out for you to balance out the karma from past life, and you're going to know what that relates to when it relates, if it has already or if it does in the future, which it may be within the next couple of years or so. I think your daughter's around 14, so it could be, I'm sensing around late 15, 16, or around that. Okay, what else? So a lot of fate in Capricorn, as well as Neptune and Sagittarius. So there is a little bit of illusion around, it's like there's an over convincing that you are completely happy and stoked about where you're at in life. That's just because you're changing and you're shifting and your vibration is changing. So that means things in your, like, environment will shift. I know that your husband and you just went away. I sense that you two need like a romantic getaway, like a super romantic getaway where you can just purely connect and not worry about anything else and just be sexual and just like have that vibe. There's a sense of connection that is going to be like, you're going to have a big shift and an activation that you didn't think. You're going to feel a lot more grounded after that. And it's just like allowing yourselves to be you. And as parents, life gets taken away, right? When I'm not a parent yet, but it's like the life becomes about the children. The life becomes about the household. The life becomes about the relationship. And you are going to take that time for yourself, right? Even more, but they want you to remember okay, let me just backtrack. So I once read this newspaper article about how, like, parents make their life about their children, but it should really be about them, because the children wouldn't be here without the parents, right? The love is what created the children. And so parents often forget that. They pour everything into their children and into the life and building that environment that they really forget about, like, what brought them there, what gave them that opportunity, the love that went into creating that. And the second half of life is going to be about really owning it and having that routine before, let's say, you're empty nesters, that sort of vibe. All right, what else? I'm going to scroll down and look at some of these aspects. I'm curious to know which parts really resonate with you. Mercury sextile Uranus. So your communication within yourself is going to be very enhanced when it comes to, like, you're going to feel good about changing the way you look at life, and you're going to be able to express that to others, and you're going to feel confident doing that. So Spirit's reminding you that that's good, that's really aligned, and that is like very much the part of your next chapter that is going to help you communicate this, like, identity, like communicate this new sense of self. what can hold you back is your Mercury square Neptune. So when you are not okay with snapping out of it, let's say, when you're like, no, I like the structure, I like where I've been, I'm gonna continue to live in an illusion, I don't need to change anything about my environment. And Spirit's like, what do you mean you don't need to change anything about your environment? Yes you do, yes you do. Continue to move forward, continue to do what works for you, and continue to shift in the ways that like you've seen. And sometimes, like, you are given visions, but they want you to really focus on how you internally feel in your gut over having to visualize it, because you're a non-specific manifester. So remembering that. 333 on my clock. So that's a perfect time to end off here. I hope that this was really helpful, and let me know what you think. All right, bye.